Hey guys, welcome back to PQF Academy. I want to say thank you again. As of right now, as of recording this video, we're at 839 subscribers, and I appreciate that. I had a goal of trying to get 250 by the end of the year, but we're at 839, and it's amazing watching these numbers go up and actually watching you guys actually like the video and also sharing the video. I do try to read and I do try to respond to every comment. So keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, and keep commenting, please. So the winner of this bag is at Chemic3. I may be saying the name wrong, but it's gonna be it's right here, as you can see. That's who won this bag. This bag does come with a shoulder strap. Also, this bag is from my collection called the City Tote. This is my mini. So you are the winner of that. When we reach 1,000, I'm going to do another giveaway. And it's probably gonna be our medium size one, the City Tote medium. And then I'm gonna try to do a lot of giveaways. Okay, so yeah. So at Chemic3, this bag is for you. I appreciate everybody for liking, subscribing, and sharing. So with this pattern, we've made 3 bags. 3 bags with this pattern. Our first bag was our crossbody. Our second bag was our 2-handle strap. And our third bag was our, I guess, 2-tone 2-handle straps all the way down. And we also work with a little bit of hardware also. So what we're going to do this time around is basically almost the same exact bag. The only thing is we're going to make it a little higher. And you know these corner pieces right here, which is the depth, yes, which is the depth. Instead of it being 3 inches, we're going to bring it in a little bit and only do about 1.5 inches. You'll actually see how doing this 1.5 inches, also using new type of interfacing instead of the SF 101, but at the end I will get into that. You'll see how it gives it a different shape and a different shape of the bag, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to start drawing, right? We're going to make our pattern again. We're also going to make an outside pocket. And with that outside pocket, we're also going to get into some hardware also. So we're going to get into some more hardware. We're also going to put on a zipper. We're also going to create some tabs. We're going to create some tabs that's going to go at handle bag tabs. Or is that what you want to call them? Our connectors. I believe that's what they're called. Tab connectors. We're also going to, like I said, do some work with a zipper. Don't be scared of that. I can show you how to do it with a zipper foot or without a zipper foot. Most sewing machines do come with a zipper foot, but if you lost your zipper foot, if you lost your zipper foot, I'm going to show you how to do it without it, okay? So, what you'll need for today is, of course, our poster board paper, a pen, our pencil, ruler, and scissors. So let's get started. All right, so I got everything laid out now. So your poster board paper is normally this way. Let's do it long way because it's going to give us a little bit more of what we need for what we have to do, right? So this time we're going to do a 16 by 16 for this for the bag and lining pattern. All right. So remember, I like poster board paper due to the fact that I have 2 clean edges basically here and here, and all I have to do is just trace up here and trace there. Now we're going to do 1.5 for our depth. We're going to do 1.5 for our depth. Oops. That's why I was looking at it wrong. That's why I was kind of messing up just now. 1.5 for our depth. So if you don't remember, 1.5 this way, so that's 1.5, and 1.5 going down, 1.5. Now, say for instance, if you don't feel comfortable drawing this on this, when you cut this out, don't cut this part out. All right, don't cut this part out, because what you could do is then fold it in half and then cut this line so you'll know it's symmetrical. But me, I like to live on the wild side, so I'm gonna go 1.5 again. And 1.5 down. All right. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to turn this. Well, once again, you know, label it, you know, body and lining. All right. Now we're going to do our pocket. So one thing I do also, once again, we have straight lines. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up to here. I already know that this is 16 inches across, right? So I know that I need a 16 inch, we're going to do a 16 inch pocket. So I know I need that across, but it's also going to be widthwise or lengthwise, sorry, 9.5. So I'm going to go right up against here. I know it's at 16. I'm cool there. And then I'm going to then I'm just going to draw to 9.5. And then I'm going to close it up down here on the bottom. All right, close that up. Now also, I'm also going to put my depth also right here, because that's gonna actually basically eat into the bag. So you kind of want that symmetrical, because where we're gonna place it. If it doesn't make sense right now, it's gonna make sense when we do it. But I'm also gonna do 1.5 depth right there. .5 depth on the pocket. Remember, once again, if you don't want to live on the wild side, you can go ahead and fold this in half and cut it. But me, I like to live on the wild side, so I'm going to go 1.5 again. All right. So we're going to need some tabs, all right? And what the tabs are, they're going to be, they're connector tabs, okay? So I'm just going to turn this way. And the tabs are going to be, if you want, you can use this. You can use the edge, so it can be a lot easier. The tabs are going to be 5 by 2. So 2 inches high, 5 inches long. All right, that's our 3 pattern pieces that we need to cut out. So we can label this pocket. Oh. We already have that, and we can also label this right here tab. And also, if you want, you can put it 5, 2, 16, 9. I mean, yeah, 6. Well, sorry, 9 here, 9.5. And then you can do 1.5 here, 1.5 there. You can label all of that around if you like, and then go ahead and cut this out, and then I'm gonna meet you back face to face. That was easy. We made our pattern. We have our tab, we have our pocket piece, and we have our exterior. We have our body, basically, our exterior and our lining. As you can see, the pocket piece actually goes the whole way across, as you can see. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that in the next video on Thursday. You are going to need the strap that you had created when we did our first bag. All right, so we're going to need this strap, all right? Now, what we're also going to need for this project, we're also going to need an 18-inch zipper. Whatever color you decide you want to get, you can get it. Doesn't really matter. Like I said, we're going to get into some hardware, get into a little bit more hardware. You can either get you 2 turn locks. Doesn't matter what size it really is. Whatever size you want it to be, it can be. If you don't feel comfortable with doing that, if say for instance when you get to Thursday, because that's what I'm going to use, and you don't feel comfortable doing that, The same way that we put on the snaps for our previous video, you can do the exact same way, and you can use the snaps. So you're going to need two of those, 2 turn locks and 2 magnetic snaps if you want to. You're also going to need 4 D-rings. You want your D-rings to be about 1 inch because remember, when we fold in our fabric, fold in our handle, it's about 1 inch. So you want it to be able to fit that, okay? We're also going to need some SF 101. I say get about a ½ yard if you want, about a ½ yard, because we're only going to be using this on the pocket. Also, I'm lying. Get about 1 yard. Let's do, to be safe, 1.5 yards, because we're going to use it on the pocket, and we're also going to use it on the lining fabric also. And we're also, I don't have it here, we're also going to need our internal pocket too, our slip pocket. Don't forget our slip pocket. So get about 1.5 yards to 2 yards of the SF 101 interfacing. We're also going to want to get some fleece, some fusible fleece. If you don't know what it is, go into Joann Fabrics and say, hey, I need some fusible fleece. What this is going to do is going to give the bag a different look. It's going to give it a little bit more of a bulkier look type. So that's what we're going to go for. Typically, when I make this bag, I would make this bag out of like a canvas fabric, something a little bit heavier and things of that. Either some leather too. But we're going to stick with the cotton for right now. And the reason why we're going to stick with the cotton is because I'm actually going to make this bag. I'm actually making this bag for someone too. So that's why we're going to be sticking with the cotton. But we're going to get some fleece, your exterior fabric, of course your lining fabric, cutting utensils, and your sewing machine. And also remember to have your thread be whatever color. You make sure your thread whatever color your fabric you're going to use. Okay. Remember when we made this bag, right? We wrote everything down. We figured out how much it cost to make. It costed us $43 to make that bag. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, that bag is that's expensive. I'm not going to be able to sell that bag to anybody. Just that bag alone, I'm not going to be able to make any type of profit or any type of anything. So when knowing what your profit margins wants to be on a certain particular bag, you have to know who you're selling to. You have to figure out who your target audience is. Like myself, my target audience is technically in 3 categories, but they're all the same woman. Meaning that a businesswoman or a career-driven woman, a working woman, let's put it that way, a working woman who happens to be a mother or who also happens to be a wife. We have the career-based or working woman who's not a wife or not a mother. Or we have the career working woman who's a mother but not a wife. The things that they have in common is that they're all career working women. Most of the times when I look at my wife and I see my wife moving around with her bags and things of that nature, I see how much stuff she may carry, how much stuff she might need. So that's who I aim for. So, okay, I aim for them. I aim for that type of woman. What does that woman like? She probably carries a laptop. She probably carries a tablet. She probably carries notebooks. She probably carries diapers. She probably carries formula or bottles or something all together. Does she really sometimes want to have a diaper bag when she goes out, or can she just put everything in one? And that's what my city tote bag does. My medium, my small doesn't, but my medium and my large, you can encompass all of that, and it's on the go. So you have certain pockets. You have a pocket for a laptop. You have a pocket for a tablet. You have a pocket over here for your Stanley cup if you have one, or water bottle. You have off to the side is good enough room for you if you need to put diapers and formula and things inside. And also all of my linings are waterproof. So I know who I have to sell to. I know who I'm going to sell to, and I know typically around that pay range. A career working woman, majority of the times, make anywhere from, let's say, $45,000 on up. So I know I wanted that range, and I also, the age range that I'm looking for is about someone that has a little bit more disposable income, which is around, they get around 30 years old and above. Okay, so that's how that's who I sell to, and how I figured out how to sell to that. I created an avatar. I just, me personally, I kind of I cheated a little bit. I just watched my wife when it comes to her when she was buying bags, and how, and the function when she would say, "Hey baby, I need a bag. Can you make me a bag that does this, and this?" Okay. And then when I make that bag, and then I go talk, and I also go talk to other women that actually have kids that work and things of that nature. So I was able to find a good price point. When that came into play. So I understood what my profit margins were. So that's what you would have to figure out. Figure out who you're going to sell to. And once you figure out who you're going to sell to, what do you want the profit margins to be on this bag? Because we want to make a little bit of a profit. Because you can't sell to everybody, okay? I want people to understand that. You have to have a strict audience that you're selling to, and then whoever else falls and whoever else comes there, they just happen to come there. Okay? So another thing that you also want to take in mind, so I want to know what my profit margin is going to be. So if I want to, let's just say I wanted to get a profit margin of 30% of a $43 bag, that's what, $12.09. So that brings my total to $55.90. Or do I want a 40%, which is $60.20 that brings my bag? That would be the cost of what my bag would be, $60.20. And if you don't want the 20 cents, you can just make it $60. Also, if I wanted to be 50% profit margin, $64.50. What that profit margin is at 50%, sorry. So I can make it an even $65. Now, another thing you also have to take in mind when it comes down to your profit margin, because what eats at your profit margin sometimes are things that's going to be like shipping. Okay. Am I going to put this bag inside of a box? How am I going to package this bag, basically? How am I going to package this bag if somebody wants to buy it? Am I going to use tissue paper? Am I going to have a card that I put in there? Tissue paper, a card. Am I going to put it in a box where they can get it? A duster bag? All those things can start to eat up at your profit margin. But you can also get a lot of those things in bulk. So it kind of brings it down. But granted, you would have to spend a little bit of money in order for that to happen. So like, say for instance, a duster bag, you get a duster bag down to, I don't know, like let's say $3 a bag. You may have to spend upwards of $1,000. And I know some people don't have that. Hey, me personally, when I first started sewing, I was making my own duster bags. I would literally go down to Walmart, and when they had dollar fabrics, and if they had black or red, I would just get them all. I'll get all the black and red cotton fabric and just come home and just sew up my duster bag. So I was able to bring the price down that way a little bit. Now, also when it comes to shipping, are you going to have them pay for shipping, or are you going to pay for the shipping? Because shipping is one of those things that can kind of get expensive, depending on how far you're taking it. So say for instance, if my profit margin is going to be 50%, and let's just say I did $65 for the bag, the shipping alone, let's just say from the East Coast maybe to the West Coast, can be $15. That brings me down to $50 now. Okay? Now I'm down at $50 now. So that's what? That is what, a $17 profit margin right there that I have? $17 that I'm going to make a profit. And then let's just say I get a $3 duster bag. I typically get my tissue paper from the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General, the $1.25. 10 of them come in a pack. 10 of them come in a pack for $1.25. So if you kind of do the math, it's almost close to let's just say close to like 5 cents maybe. So I got that down. I do get I got little boxes that I have, and the boxes by themselves, because of how much I buy when it comes to putting them in there, putting these in here, they're about, I think like $3 a piece. $2.50 to $3. Then also, I don't put these in a duster bag. When I make these, I kind of put these in an envelope, like a plastic envelope that keeps it protected. And I also still put a card in it. It still looks good and still looks clean. So typically when it boils down to, with this bag, on a good profit margin, if you do it a certain type of way, you can make about anywhere. I think I make about anywhere from $8 to $10 in the profit for this bag right here. Okay, but that's just this bag. I like making this bag because it's easy and it's an easy bag to sew and get rid of, basically, also at the same time. But I also got my costs down from this bag. Also, I'm able to get fabric in bulk. I'm also able to cut down. It doesn't take me a half hour to actually make this bag anymore. When I first started, it took me a half hour. It takes me about 20 minutes to make the bag from cut to finish. Also, there's other things that you can also use and do to make the process a whole lot faster. And I'm going to tell you those processes also in later videos, okay? So when we're looking for certain things, and we're looking for certain things like our target audience and target market, create an avatar. Who do you want to sell to? What type of person do you want to buy your bag? Okay? Whether you cannot sell to any and everybody. All right? I just want to put that in perspective. And what I mean by that, you need to have a group that you're focused on, hyper focused on. And then once you have a group where you're hyper focused on, you would know where those people are. You would know where that group is at. So you would know how to reach them. So you'll be able to sell your bags. So when you know who you're selling to, the funny thing about it is you'll typically hear them say, "Oh, that's it? I thought it was going to be more," because that's your target audience. You can't sell to everybody. You can't make bags for everybody. When you start to hear people go, "Oh, that's too much. I'm not buying that." And they start to negotiate the price. That's not your target market. That's not who the person you're supposed to sell to. The person you're supposed to sell to they literally say things like, "Oh, that's it? I thought it was going to be more." I learned from experience. So that's where that's coming from. I've had tons of people that when I learned my target audience, I've had tons of people say that. And I learned that I was pricing my things super low. Even though in the fashion world, you're supposed to get about a 50 to 100%, even sometimes 1,000% markup. But there's some things that, hey, you'll eat the cost on some things because it's more of, you're going to try to get your name out there. But at the same time, the industry itself does go up and down. But at the end of the day, when you find and know your target audience, you'll be surprised on the price that you put it on. You'll be surprised how many people are willing to buy it at that price, because those are the people you're looking to sell to. I hope that made sense to you. If it didn't, let me know. Like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave me a comment and tell me how you like today's video. We're going to get into, remember, on Thursday is when we're going to actually go ahead and sew and put everything together. So as always, thank you for tuning into PQF Academy.